Hey everybody, Mark here. So, a funny thing happened at Comicpalooza this past weekend. Not only did I record an episode of our podcast, the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast, with Craig Price, and then help out on Craig's show, Matinee Heroes, where we discussed The Matrix Reloaded, which was a great panel, and hopefully he puts it up. I was invited to do a panel on Sunday titled, "This is the Way Back to Theaters, the Future of Star Wars." And so it was a discussion of, now that The Mandalorian and Grogu is in theaters, since that's back in theaters, where does Disney and Star Wars go from here? But what we didn't know, those of us that were asked to partake in this panel, participate, is that no one had been designated the moderator. So this was like the bus in Speed, where someone has to jump into the driver's seat to make the panel go. So we wound up with 4 people. I was there. And I said, screw it, I'll drive the bus. So what happened and what followed was a pretty expansive 45-minute discussion about Star Wars in all of its shapes and forms since Disney bought it, and where we think they went right, where we think they went wrong, and where we think they go from here, maybe where we'd like them to go from here. So, that being said, here comes the audio of that panel from this weekend's Comicpalooza in Houston, Texas. Enjoy. Let us know what you think. And this is the way. Or is it?
Well, look at that. It seems to be right about that time.
We did it.
We made it.
Yes, but none of us know why. So,
yes.
Raise your hand if you're out here and you're a Star Wars fan. Raise your hand. You're here to hear about Star Wars.
Yay.
Okay. Yay, perfect. You're in the right place. My name is Mark Woodring. I'm the host of the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. And this might be one of the most pantsy episodes of discussion you might have, as in we're flying by the seat of our pants. So let's go down the row and introduce these people that I've just met, and then we'll get into the discussion. You, sir, introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, Mark. I'm Michael. Nice to meet you. I'm Michael Carroll of the Comic Cast, one of the hosts of Comic Cast podcast. We talk about movies, TV, all the things like Star Wars and things like that.
Yeah, and my name's Lauren, and we're with Beyond the Galaxy podcast.
I'm Jordan, also from Beyond the Galaxy podcast.
And I assume that we're all Star Wars fans to some degree.
Only a little bit.
Just a little. Just a little.
Yeah.
Okay, so have we all seen Mandalorian and Grogu?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Let's start with
I'm
that.
excited. I said we should do this.
because this panel is ostensibly about this is the way Star Wars. Where do we go from here? So here is where we got to Friday night with The Mandalorian and Grogu. First off, real easy, did you like the film overall?
Oh, yeah. It was a really fun watch. Yeah.
I'm going to go a little more in the middle where, like, I did like it. I had a lot of fun watching it, but I don't know if it really felt like a movie to me. It felt like a TV special a little more. Like, and so I'd still give it like a B+, like I really enjoyed it, but I'm like, oh, I feel like I see like where the episodes were going to be cut here.
I'm kind of in that same vein where there was one point I remember specifically where I felt like, okay, that's the end credits. Like, this is where end credits would be. I liked it. Like, I enjoyed my time with it. I didn't hate it. I was like I think I gave it like a 3.5. Like, it's fine. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I gave it
3.5 out of 5 or 10.
It's a good point. Out of 5. Okay.
Yeah. Just scale is important.
I forgot to mention the scale.
Okay, I have to ask.
Banana for scale. So we watched it. Me and my co-host watched it last Monday. We got an early screening.
Nice.
So we talked about it Tuesday, and that is up. And we both came to kind of the same decision. We were about a 7 out of 10. So 3.5.
Yeah, I think that's about where I'd land too.
Good. There's good and bad. And that's very okay. Look, this is Disney because we can't talk about where Disney Star Wars is going.
Yes.
Until we talk about where Disney Star Wars has been. Disney Star Wars came in post Episode 3.
Yep.
With a drought. $4 billion later.
Yeah.
They start making movies. I think we all came in with high hopes that Disney was going to be like, we are going to take this thing and we're going to write it in the best possible way. And we all agree that that's a half-true statement?
Yeah.
That they have written that thing.
Yeah.
Perhaps not in the best possible way.
Well, I mean, we even talked about this a little bit yesterday, and it was like the fact that they went in with so little of a plan is still so kind of baffling for the main 3, like a trilogy. It's like, oh, you never sat down before you started and had like a little bit of a draft of
George gave them George handed them, he took his check and gave them an outline.
Yeah. Because you'd think that, like, with all the, like, how many Star Wars fans there are, and there's a break, and, like, writers in Hollywood have been like, oh, if I could write a Star Wars movie, this is what I would do. Right. So I don't think there was, like, a lack of pitches, probably. Right. But they still were like, nah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah.
They went right to JJ reboot.
Yeah. And I feel like that felt like a good start,
It was probably the best start they could hope for, maybe.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't not acknowledge it was new, quote unquote, Star Wars.
Yeah.
By acknowledging old Star Wars. So yeah, it was a decent mix, I think.
It was extremely nostalgic, but they introduced new hooks, I think, that worked. Yeah. I liked like Rey and Kylo and Finn. I was excited about all of them.
What about you?
I agree with everything you guys said. I feel like, at least in my eyes, especially with like Episode 7, they were like, let's see what George gave us. And then after that, they kind of were like, I'm going to do what I want, almost. And then disagree with everyone in the room. So, yeah.
Oh, that's where it felt disjointed, right? Like, it just felt like we're going to do these things in the first one, and then we're going to do something different, and then we're going to go back on it.
No, well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there was no overarching voice, whether in the production room. I mean, the overarching was the story group at Lucasfilm.
Which
it felt like, I was just going to say, it felt like everyone thought they knew what was best without really agreeing on what was best.
Yeah.
And that was the end results of all 3 movies, I feel like.
A lot of back and forth.
A lot of back and forth. So, Rise of Skywalker, of course, after Last Jedi, super divisive. In retrospect, not as terrible, I think, as maybe I thought it was. I'm like one of the few people that came out of that film, and I didn't mind Luke's arc. I like it. Yeah, I get it now. Could I have done without Canto Bight? Yes. Could I have done without the slow speed pursuit? Yes. But I totally understood Luke going, I'm out. No.
I think that like you said, like the Canto Bight stuff bothers me a lot more than like Luke's arc, because I feel like they gave him a reason to be that way. It wasn't just like, oh, I woke up one day and decided to be like mean or whatever. It's a really cool story there, But I guess like it's tough because not everyone agrees. And
to be fair, Luke didn't have anyone to back him up. Once
he's
Luke
all
made
alone.
A mistake, any confidence he had was gone.
And I think even now, like they've kind of, one of my favorite things in the like Mandoverse is when like you see that Ahsoka knows Luke, but she doesn't agree with him, which I think is very interesting.
Right. Yeah. Well, to be fair, because he's probably to her like my stupid nephew.
Yeah.
Oh, you silly boy! I want to smack you, but I cannot. Because so it's almost like she's afraid Anakin will just pop up out of the dirt and beat her senseless for, why'd you touch my boy? But okay, so we get they whiplash back to JJ. I can't finish anything.
Yeah.
And say, dude, land the plane.
When he spent half the movie being like, I didn't like the last one, so I'm changing it back to my way.
And the way I described Rise of Skywalker was, I said, JJ came back in. They told him to land the plane, and he's like, okay, how can I make everyone happy? He goes, I'm going to throw every piece of Star Wars ephemera at the screen that I possibly can. Yeah. And maybe one will notice that this movie is not. There's not really a movie here.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Like, it's such a mishmash. Like, it's such a sad ending for that. It's just such a bummer.
It was on TV. I mean, it's this weekend. That's FX. I think is just
running
wall to wall.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to rewatch it because it's been a while.
Because Rise of Skywalker was on, and it came. We literally came in at the part where it's they fly now.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to turn it off.
Just anytime you think about rewatching Rise of Skywalker, just think to yourself, they fly now, and you'll be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So we get, but in there, Disney managed to drop Rogue One.
Right. Yes, yeah, which is amazing.
Which everyone pretty much agrees is the best film Disney's put out.
It's funny though, because I was just talking about this with someone yesterday, or where I didn't think that was a good idea on paper, and was so eating crow after I saw that movie. I'm like, no, I was so wrong. This is a great idea. Yeah. So it's I think sometimes hard to come up with ideas for Star Wars movies that don't sound off, I think it's a hard challenge that they have.
Well, especially to try and tie into the Skywalker of it all, right?
Yeah, if you must.
If you must,
okay, so let's talk about that. Must we tie into the Skywalker stuff?
For me, no. I think it would be good to have more variety.
It's a great, big, beautiful galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
I was just saying, not always, because we don't. I mean, some shows and characters don't need it. I'm watching Resistance or something, and I'm like, I don't need to know what happened with Kylo Ren. I already know. Let's move on, please.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes they tap that table, stomp their foot a little too hard to remind you of something. But then we get we get Solo, which. Not perfect.
Such a bummer.
I think unfairly maligned. Yeah. I mean, people just look at that and they go, garbage. I mean, just top.
It's a tough one. I like.
But I mean, to be fair, that would be like watching, and we're going to touch on this. Let's watch Leia on Alderaan. As she's getting into the political stuff, she's probably 13, 14. She's sitting in on meetings with Dad. But instead, we got Kenobi with little Leia. And that's not the origin of Leia that we needed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't know, why do you think Disney, they'll grab things that seem good on paper.
Yeah.
And then where do you think the disconnect is between greenlighting we're going to do a Kenobi series, greenlight.
Yeah.
Now, where does it go wrong after that?
I think it's a lack, for me, it feels like a lack of follow through, because Kenobi could have been a good starting point for anything we wanted to do with Leia and expand on that. But then they just kind of were one and done. We're just going to not do that anymore. And I don't know if it's because the audience didn't like it or they just decided not to, but I think in general, it's just a lack of follow through.
Well, should you throw good money after bad? If you're going to make a series, not like a movie, but if you're going to make a series of television that everyone's like, well, the first 3 episodes were really good, and then it crapped the bed.
Yeah.
And as opposed to everyone's like, Leia's just not good, or Kenobi's not good top to bottom. Why would you go to a season 2?
Right.
Yeah, that one had a tough ride because I think it had some really high highs but very low lows as well, and it clearly was set up for a season 2 because I'm like, you kind of left the biggest piece on the table, which is Qui-Gon, and I was like, where was that?
Yeah, what was God? I can't remember which. I think it was episode 2 was on FX this weekend, and there's a point where Anakin does something. It's when he goes after the sand people.
Oh. Yeah.
And the voice that Yoda hears yelling is Qui-Gon, and it's like, so Qui-Gon is actually, even at that point, he's involved. Luke doesn't know it. Anakin doesn't know it, but he's there. And because Yoda's been talking to him, but it finally dawned on me. It's like, dude, that's Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
It's like, so there's a nice tie-in. And yes, in Kenobi, it would have been nice.
I think that was the thing, like that slice of cake that I wanted them to eat so badly in that, and it was left on the table.
It almost would have been better if there'd have been an episode without Leia at all, but him.
Yeah, like him talking like
to Qui-Gon, and, I can't be here all the time. But.
Or even just like him asking questions into the universe, and then at the very end, maybe he's like, "Well, it's this," like some super wise, awesome answer.
And what have we learned, Obi-Wan?
Exactly.
My main memory of that show is little Leia escaping the bounty hunter or whatever in the woods. Like that was an insane scene to put in.
That Keystone Cops.
Keystone. Yeah, exactly.
But then, the fight with Vader was cool.
But then, like you said, it had these highs, but then it just
so outweighed.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see Inquisitors and stuff like that in live action, but it was just like, it didn't quite go all the way.
Right,
And they kind of recycled Luke's Last Jedi arc, because Kenobi was almost...
Yeah.
I'm dude. I'm working in the factory.
Yeah.
Peeping on my nephew from 4 miles away across the desert.
And it seems to me like a very kind of like rich place to go for Kenobi, because it's like this, basically like priests who like his, like the church was destroyed, but do you have your own faith? And that's kind of like an interesting thing that is not what the show wanted to talk about.
That's where it goes back to like, did we need like the tie-in of a Leia or something like that? Could we just sit there and explore with Kenobi?
For me, I'm kind of, I don't love we have to see them as a little kid idea over like, because especially in Star Wars, it feels like I'm so done with this. Please stop. The
prequels, which George did, everyone was like, why are we watching this? Why are we watching this? And they were kind of narratively and thematically hemmed in because we knew where they were going. But to your point about Rogue One, bad idea on paper, right?
Yeah,
but it's how you execute, and that is what I think. That is what the prequels eventually got us to. It's like,
especially with like
that's how we got there.
Yes, because the story of Anakin is like really sad and tragic, especially when you see like what kind of kid he was and what happened, and it's like this could have been different. Like, it was so close to being different, So I think it's a great story, but I think you almost need like the Clone Wars show to get all that good backstory in there that they added there, but man.
Yep. What about?
Yes.
Yes. So okay. Then we get the TV show. We talked about Kenobi. We talked about we bring Ahsoka. Finally, everyone's excited about Ahsoka. Ahsoka gets back. We're getting season 2.
Yeah, which Ahsoka was like waiting for like basically Rebels continuation almost as well.
Right. So let me ask you this, because we got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So, knowing. I have a theory, and I'm going to let you guys expound on this.
I'm excited. I love theories.
So where is Star Wars going from here?
Yeah.
And I think we all agree that Disney hasn't had a plan.
Yes.
Even if they had done the trilogy with a plan, and then done Andor as a plan, and then done Kenobi with its plan, not necessarily going out of their way to try to keep everything together. I think the problem it's encapsulated in the fact that they don't have a plan.
Yeah.
But it's exacerbated by the fact that they don't really understand where they came from. Because the first thing Disney did was remove half of their source material, which was Legends.
Yeah.
Sorry, the expanded universe, and they made it Legends. And after they got through the sequel trilogy, what is the first thing they started to do? They started plucking all of these little tidbits out of Legends that they thought the fans would have wanted. And really, I mean, everyone that I've talked to has said, if they'd have just made the Thrawn trilogy, so much goodwill, they would have gotten from that.
That would have been crazy.
Is it the fact that they didn't want to look back? That they were like, no, now it's ours. We've bought it. It's ours, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Or is it corporate control? I mean, is it just is it because it's corporate, or is it because Disney made a mistake?
I'll throw in another wrench that I think is a thing, is that like I think the fandom is so big now, it's not as niche as it used to be, that there's so many kind of wants from the audience that it's hard to like make something that will actually please everyone in anything. Because like even all the shows have people who are like loud haters, like, you know, even like if I don't agree, like I've heard it for every single one of them, you know. So it's like I think it's very hard for like Disney, who wants to always have the like we are winning, everyone loves our stuff, to like give up that, like, because the things that are working like Andor are kind of specific, or like Skeleton Crew is also kind of like in a different kind of way, like it's a little more for kids, but like I thought it worked because they're like we did something specific.
It nailed what it was doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And it wasn't trying to make everyone happy, they just tried to make what they were doing really good, and I think they nailed it.
Is that I'm sorry, I was going to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Is that did they trust the Skeleton Crew showrunners more?
That's a good
Do they
question.
not trust the cinematic stuff to the cinematic people? Is that?
Yeah. Well, I feel like they are bad at like knowing who to trust, because like, dude, Lord and Miller wrote the original Solo movie, and look at Project Hail Mary.
And they shot what 90% of it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you believe some of the stuff. I know everyone dogs Solo, but it's like, look, I'm in the camp that I want Ron Howard to be given, dude, make us a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And just give him his own movie, because I
think they should let people kind of do like their ideas of these movies, and like they like I don't think anyone, like, they're probably not going to make everyone happy when they make these movies. I don't think that's possible anymore, to be honest. No. So it's like, just make something really good, because quite honestly, I'm going to show up if it says Star Wars on it. So like, let's just have fun.
Play in the space, right?
Yeah.
Like something like Andor is that political thriller, like play in those genres that we don't necessarily see Star Wars. Typically we see Star Wars as the fantasy, like the chosen one, all that.
Yeah.
But let's play with, you know, there's episodes of Mandalorian where they play in a specific genre.
Yes.
Why not play in that for a movie or something? Like,
I think it would be great.
Just something different, because it feels like they are, I don't know if it's risk averse or whatever, but it's like, we got to put a Skywalker or something like that because that's what the people know, that's what the people want, rather than, no, give them something they're not asking for. You know what I mean? Like, take a creative risk.
I have some hope for that Starfighter movie, because it looks like something that's not like, oh, it's going to be immediately Luke Skywalker,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
My opinions vary depending on the directors we're talking about, because like you have directors like Dave, right? I don't know if y'all are on Twitter or X now, but they hate Dave Filoni, and I don't know why. I kind of do, but I also don't.
I can tell you why when you're done.
Yeah. And I probably won't be surprised by the answer, but he's kind of one of those directors that's like, I started off doing what the fans wanted me to do. Now I'm going to do what I want. And if it works out, great. If not, I could just do another show. And I feel like a lot of people thought that's what Ahsoka was, and kind of what Rebels and Resistance were. And like, yeah, it really just depends on who's making the movie and why they're doing it. And then it's one of those things where like corporate's like, yeah, they probably trust the wrong person, and sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, now Dave's in charge.
Yeah.
And look, here's why people on X and YouTube and everyone hate Dave. It's because now he's at the top, but before he had a lot of influence. The stuff that was working was the animation, and that was all Dave.
Yeah.
Now, if you have stuff that's working, this is just my theory. I'm not a corporate person, but I understand people, and people generally suck.
It's true.
But so if you have something that's working in an area that you are trying to trash overall, which people were trying to do, sometimes more easily done than other times, but under Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars and Lucasfilm and Indiana Jones. Dave keeps being this kind of bright light of, thank you for giving us something that's not terrible.
Yeah.
Right? That we can come back every week and watch for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And so and now he's in charge, so now he's the target.
Yeah.
Because there's money to be made, and it is being made in the hate industry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I am not big enough to name drop the ones that I would like to name drop for fear of being squashed into more oblivion than I already exist in. But they're there. And what's funny is that I would listen to a lot of those channels because there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
But their POV became more and more skewed.
Yeah.
That it became, why am I trying to pan out the good stuff, the stuff that is actually right and intelligence, or I didn't know that about business, or I didn't know that about this particular film, or whatever.
Yeah.
Why do I have to wade through all of your garbage to get to those nuggets?
Yeah.
But there's money to be made. These guys are making bank.
Yeah. Like Star Wars makes so much money just on like merchandise alone, like stuff like that. But I think there's also some kind of thing that happens like when you're just a creative person like Dave Filoni used to be, like you are being kind of checked more on what you're doing, so you're going to have to like review your kind of stuff more. And then when you get put in charge, like those checks and balances aren't there. And so I think like the quality kind of goes down somehow, like I feel like this happened with like a lot of writers who like the Harry Potter books like aren't as good as they go along because she stopped editing them,
Yeah, just let her write. We're printing money.
Yeah, it's like, so it's if they're making the money, they don't care, but it's like, if you kind of cultivate this, it will last longer, so it's hard.
Well, and then the weird thing about Filoni is that he started when George still owned.
Yeah.
And George would come down and go, I like what you're doing, Dave. Yeah. I like what you're doing, Dave. That's good. Let's keep doing that. And then he got to carry over.
Then I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people are like, okay, because I think in the back of his mind, again, don't know the man personally, but maybe in the back of his mind, he's like, oh, George would like this, so who cares? Bump the rest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I think it sounds weird, but I think if you're going to make a Star Wars property, your first thought should be, would George like it? Not necessarily, is this the way George would have made it?
Yeah.
But would George like it? Would he smile when I need him to smile? Would he be sad when I need him to be sad? Even if he tells you afterwards, that's not the way I would have done it, but I like where your head was at.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think Dave still kind of operates under that. But it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't text George 4 or 5 times a week.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They
have brunch together. Yeah.
But yeah, so Dave is in a weird position because he was there in the good times, and he's been there through the dark times as the bright light.
Yeah.
With animation, and it's almost weird if you look, with the exception of Andor and Rogue One. All of Disney's Star Wars successes have been on the animation side. At the end of Clone Wars, Rebels, all of the Visions.
Yeah, I love Visions.
Almost nobody hates those.
No. They're so fun, and like they don't have a ton of stakes, because it's like if it doesn't work, you may not ever see this again. It's 10 minutes, but they're really fun, and they push the envelope.
They're tiny blips in this big galaxy that we're talking about. But then we just had Maul come out.
Also really fun,
which is fantastic. If you haven't seen it on Disney Plus, it's awesome. With 9 episodes, 8 or 9 episodes.
8, I think, or 10?
10.
Okay.
10. Okay, yeah, so 10. Yeah, I mean,
8, 9, 10.
It's great.
We got there.
But it begs the question: should they focus more on animation moving forward?
I think that they have a lot of opportunities with the animation that Maul shows you that you can do some insane lightsaber fights when you are doing it in animation. You would never be able to pull those off in live action.
Well, even in Visions, there's some.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of
Maul just had a couple that were so good that I was like, okay, this is insane. This is so cool.
Yeah, because cartoon physics.
Yeah. So but I love that stuff, and they make it feel believable because they're like aliens, fighting with lightsabers and stuff. So like they can do this. They can push the envelope so much more.
There's more freedom, right?
Exactly.
There's way more freedom that you can do in animation, and you don't have to worry about like getting this live action person here. You can just get whoever to appear and just need a voiceover. You know what I mean? Like you can have more characters interact, have more characters pop up.
I feel like it's also less risky than these like big movies. Like if they want to do something a little bit different, animation seems like a good place. It's also, I think, the hardcore Star Wars nerds are always watching that stuff. So
because there's been a few episodes of Visions specifically where I'm like, can I get the 90-minute version of that in a theater?
Yes.
Or
and again, letting creators do something different.
And when Visions first came out, because they're all all different directors, all different writers, all different styles, and you're like, it's almost like they were auditioning people.
Yeah.
But now they're just kind of. It's still cool. Keep giving me 9 episodes of 10-minute, 12-minute animations. I am totally okay with that. But it's like every once in a while, just look at it and go, can you do more than that? Can you do a 4-episode arc that still only comes out to an hour, but we can do a 4-episode miniseries?
Yeah, I mean, I would watch those. I think they would be really cool. There's like several of them I can think of where I'm like, I would be there.
So the question then is, does Dave... Now that he just got in charge, is that something you think he'll look at more rather than just episodic TV animation that he's used to?
I think that would be really cool. Like, he seems to be like a fan of animation, so I think it's more on the table with him in charge than it would have been in the past.
What about an animated movie, like in theaters?
And that I think would be
that's a great question.
That would be the end goal. I think if you're going to do it, like I said, give us 4 episodes of an arc of an offshoot of this episode of Visions.
It would
and if that works, there's another one. We know that people will watch more long, quote unquote, long form, even if it's split up. Let's go to a 90-minute animated film.
I wonder if they'll do something like that, like maybe like the finale of like the Mall series could be like a 90-minute movie that would be on Disney Plus, maybe, but like kind of like how animes have like like a movie in between seasons kind of thing. Like, I wonder if that could be on the table at some point.
The old comic book annual format.
Yeah. Crossovers.
And that's good. So let me run down the table. I'll start down there. You have today. You're Dave Filoni. What do you want to see come across your desk? For moving for a Star Wars, whether it's TV, whether it's movie, whether it's animation, what do you want to see come across so you can go, there it is?
I want everyone who worked on the Clone Wars with me to say, we're going to make a movie about Finn, and this is how we're going to do it.
So you want a Finn live action or animation?
Animation.
Yeah, okay, live action animation.
Still starring John Boyega because I love him.
Is it going to be him scrubbing toilets on the Death Star?
God, I hope not. God, I hope not.
He was a janitorial.
He's going to have a flashback.
Yeah. No, none of that. As a matter of fact, if I see anything about a janitorial staff, it's going in the trash. I want Jedi stuff for him all the way.
So you want, say, post episode 9?
Yeah,
where he's
treat it like we do the Clone Wars, right? So, and I said this yesterday. I think the Clone Wars happened after episode 2, and then they kind of weaved into Revenge of the Sith. Well, you can do that sort of thing with
the new trilogy. Yeah.
Started after The Last Jedi. They're beaten and defeated in season 1. Now we're weaving into episode 9, and then give him something to do after episode 9, kind of thing. Yeah.
Because they were trying to do the whole Rey new Jedi Order thing, and that kind of went away.
Yeah.
Don't approve any vaporware. We don't want to see any of that, because Disney is really good at that. Just look at all these announcements that we're just not going to mention ever again.
Right.
So you're in Filoni's chair today. What do you want to see moving forward?
I would love to see some kind of like non-Jedi stories, and I'm actually gonna just steal this idea from my brother, because him and I were talking on the phone the other day before I saw the Mando movie, just like yapping, and it's like he has this like great idea where it would be like stormtroopers all like on a planet for when they like an empire actually did something to help a planet, like because some of them had to be in like a bad situation, and this maybe helped a little bit. So it's kind of like like a flip side of stormtroopers, and I thought it was kind of a fun idea.
That's man, you're gonna have to have a really good writer for that.
He's good. He's writing it himself is like a challenge, but I thought that was a great idea.
Okay, what about you, sir?
The first thing that came to mind, I don't know if it's gonna make people mad, but like the Stranger.
It's gonna make somebody mad.
It's gonna make somebody mad. You're right. Something expanded with the Stranger from the Acolyte.
Yes.
I thought that character was so unique and different, especially with like the fighting style and just the way, the look. And Manny Jacinto, I thought, did an incredible job. I just wanted more of that character. And
I really wish we got a season 2.
Yeah,
it could just be the end, and that would be great. But man,
you want more of that character? Do you want that more pre-Acolyte or post-Acolyte? Do you want Acolyte season 2? Because that's really where you would have to go for post.
Yeah.
Or do you want how he got to where he is? Because now you're going back to if theoretically, if you believe them that they actually meant that figure was Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
So now you're going back to Plagueis.
I kind of want to lean into that just a little bit, just because I find that stuff very interesting. I think it's another part where we haven't really expanded upon it outside of the extended stuff. So it's something that I just think would be really like interesting, and that character had arguably some of the best like live action lightsaber fights I've ever seen.
Yeah.
With the way he's just blocking it with his art, like it's just incredible. So I would like more of that.
And that's actually a case of what we were talking about. Sometimes there's highs. There's so much good in these projects that are just otherwise not. And I think that's the one thing everyone agreed on about The Acolyte was that the fight scenes were
really
incredible.
cool.
Headbutting a lightsaber is crazy.
Yeah, it's so
but
cool.
I loved every second of it.
And I like that they would like blink out but then come back on. Like that added so much tension of like, when is it coming back? Like,
and everyone, like in that one episode, everyone was dying. Everybody was dying. Nobody was. Only like 2 people were safe.
Right, and maybe. See, that I consider that a selling point if your characters can die.
yeah.
But that didn't help Acolyte at all.
No.
I mean, I think there's a lot to like in that show, but it was rough.
I think there's a lot of ideas to like in that show.
Yes. I
don't think there's a lot of execution to like in that show.
Yeah.
I find the twins to be one of the most bland characters ever, but and they're the same, and that's why I said one.
And I miss Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie was the
Jackie would have been great to hang on. I think I want a series. I want a series just after Order 66.
Ooh.
I want a Jedi that didn't pass his trials and was expelled like a month earlier. He's out of the Order.
Cool.
But he's surviving on Coruscant in the lower levels.
Yeah.
And of course, by the Order 66 rolls out, he's like, no, I don't have force powers. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
But he's like a private detective.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I love
cool.
like a Star Wars noir would be cool because I really like that vibe in the beginning of the mall show.
So the series, as it turns out, is he's whatever his case is. It turns out that the big bad is actually like a Sith that was expelled because there can only be 2.
Yeah.
And so, but neither one of them knows that they are who they are.
That's cool. It's kind of The Departed, but but Star
Wars. They're not posing as each other. They're just hiding whom they are.
Yeah. It just reminds me.
But it's like, but I think that would be cool. All the lower levels of Coruscant, you could see the day to day. It's not the bright, sunny Coruscant we see all the time. It's the depths. It's the mechanical beating heart.
Love a little scum and villainy.
Right,
that stuff's really fun.
Going into like investigate, interview people like in all these dark whatever places, and it would be really interesting.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah. And they'll never greenlight. It's too dark for Disney.
Yeah. Hey, they did Andor.
They did Andor.
I think it's.
Andor. But we'd have the Force in it. So if people could be happy, we'd have the Force.
Yeah, exactly.
So what about would you guys want, say, live action Bad Batch?
Ooh. I don't know. I feel like that ended though, like in a good way. They came in as a cameo in something like Mando. I would love that. I always
kept waiting for that. I was like, at some point, Wrecker's going to come through. Just Wrecker.
I have thought for a long time that I really want like Omega to meet Boba Fett because they are clones of each other.
What is the theory? Omega, someone's headcanon out there is that Omega is actually in the original trilogy. She's a character, and I can't remember whoever they decided she was.
It's kind of like how they retroed that Rex is the guy.
And Rex is the guy on Endor.
I don't know this one, but I love that. But I would love to see Omega and Boba Fett meet. Like, I think that would be really cool. Like adult Omega, like...
Granddad? No, wait.
I mean, they're kind of brother and sister.
Technically, they're brother,
Yeah. Like, they're clones of the same person. So I just think that that's cool. Like,
that would be cool.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Mando season 7.
I don't know. Are we going to get a season 4?
That's my question is, will there be more Mando movies now, or will there just be, like, that's how it continues, or will there be series?
Well,
I don't know.
So the question is, if the Mando movie does well enough for people to want to see another Star Wars movie, do you want it to be a Mando movie, or do you want them to just, do you want this to lead into Starfighter well enough to where, okay, now we've had Mando, we've had Starfighter. Is Starfighter prequels?
I honestly don't know enough about that to
I think it's
for
earlier.
Sure,
I don't think it's Acolyte. High Republic.
No, I don't think it's that far. I don't remember.
I'm honestly not sure yet. They haven't said enough about that movie yet, but yeah.
But do you want it to pave the way at the box office well enough for Starfighter to come in and do well enough, or do you want them to do another Mando movie? Do you want them to greenlight another Mando movie if it does well enough in addition to Starfighter, or do you want Mando to go back to Bounty of the Week?
I would put Mando on TV again. Yeah. I think it works better that way.
I like the case of the week sort of thing.
And
with
I
Mando.
think Mando's a perfect character to cameo in almost anything, in that time period, because he's like kind of a free agent, so he can literally be anywhere.
He sure did in the Book of Boba Fett.
Sure.
Best episode and a half of that series.
Absolutely.
Is Mando season, what was that, season 2.5?
What a wild, I'm watching Book of Boba Fett, and then it's like, wait, did I turn on Mandalorian right now? Like, what's happening?
I don't know. But
that one's crazy.
Let's talk about the misses real quick. We got about 7 minutes.
Yeah.
The clear misses were Book of Boba Fett. What?
Okay, the miss, though, is taking half that series to make it Mando, and an absolutely critical part of Mando that when you come back to season 3, you're like, what happened?
But how did they mishandle Boba Fett? So badly, because we know they did.
Yeah.
I think the beginning is actually pretty cool, where he's like with the sand people and all that stuff. It's, to me, the second half that where like after the Mandalorian episodes that are randomly shoved in there, where they like come back and like they had those characters like the mods who look like they never belonged in Star Wars ever. Like they stick out like a sore thumb so bad, and then like they like I just felt like they set up this cool thing with the sand people the whole beginning of the show, and then they're like, we need an army to help us get rid of all these bad guys. What will we do? Not the sand people we set up the whole time. We need to go get this Rancor, a totally different thing we haven't talked about yet.
So we could have Danny Trejo in an episode.
Yeah, which as fun as that is, I'm like, you could have had both. Like, there's no reason he couldn't have called the sand people and like built that up, because they were also like, the sand people aren't so bad. We could like have them become friends with all the people in the town, and both people are improved by this. No.
And they also mishandled the Cad Bane of it all, right? Like that
was disappointing, because I love him.
I loved that character.
I love him.
But now it's gone.
Yeah.
He is not dead. No. There's no way.
That's what I keep telling.
We're still trying to figure out if Timothy Olyphant is dead.
Yeah. I mean, again, not dead. Like, but no, like Cad Bane gets out of everything. They didn't show his little droid guy. Like, he definitely got away. Like, there's no way in hell.
Until you actually see the body, you're not going to buy it.
Yeah, I mean, that's Star Wars to a T. Like, how many people have fallen off a cliff and come back later? Like,
probably a lot. Yeah.
I think for me, the misses are the flashbacks that could have just been the first few episodes of a longer season.
Yeah.
Because why are we flashing back to him getting out of the Sarlacc pit? We already know that's happening. We already saw him in the end of season 2 of Mandalorian. So we already know that. So why are we spending time on it? I am not a big fan of spending unnecessary story time on things I already know. So that was one thing. And then, like, again, the training with the sand people, getting them that water off that train and stuff like that. That could have just been the first few episodes of a longer season. He takes control of Jabba's palace. Now we're at the end of the season doing other stuff. It was just the inconsistency of it all that didn't work for me.
And kind of speaking off of that, there was like, I felt like there was a lack of detail watching in that, because there's moments where it's like a character should be here and they're not, and then there's like the big machines are cut, but then a part of it's back for some reason, and it's just like little things like that drive me nuts in terms of editing.
Continuity errors are not the best in the world.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so
it's a tough one.
last thing, real quick, down the row. Is Star Wars back after Mando? Is it back? Is it teetering? Hard. Is it where it was? Where are we at? Yes, no, maybe so.
A very strong maybe, because every time I like something, I'm like, Star Wars is back. So I mean, my opinion is irrelevant on the map. Star Wars has been back since Maul and before that.
Yeah. I feel like we moved the needle in a positive direction, but not fully like, yeah, we nailed this. Because like, I think a lot of people are going to like this movie and it's really fun. And so that's great. And like having Maul come out just before it is also nice. But now we're like in drought again. So there's nothing to like keep the ball rolling. Yeah. So like these were great entries. I'm still excited. Like I spent all week watching Mandalorian, so I'm in a Star Wars high. But like, I don't feel like we're fully like we have everybody back on our side.
Okay. Yeah, it's like we're there maybe like in TV word wise, but not movie wise. Like movie wise, I'm still like, I don't know, man. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. They have to not backtrack. Because this didn't hit it out of the park. Starfighter has to be better than Mando is. If it's only as good, because I think Disney, we've talked about it through all the various titles throughout the day, Disney has put themselves in this position where their output is uneven and therefore cannot be trusted. And that is what drives your fan base away. So is it back? It's never actually gone because they won't stop making it.
Got to keep that IP alive.
Here's what I think. I think if Starfighter is really good, it may prove that they don't need Skywalkers and lightsabers. And there's nothing wrong with lightsabers. But they have to open their mind. They have to open that viewport and see that there's more to the galaxy.
I think it would be very interesting if that and then Andor were like the most successful things in a while, and like what kind of lessons they're going to take from that.
Probably the wrong ones, but
of course.
So thank you for joining this ad hoc panel.
Thank you.
Tell us again who you are, where folks can hear you every day.
Yeah, so you can see us on. I never know if y'all can hear me. But yeah, we're Beyond the Galaxy. I'm gonna say Beyond from the Galaxy.
So close.
On YouTube, Instagram, we have a TikTok. It's out there. I promise it is. We just don't use it. And that's Beyond the Galaxy on anything and everything. And we're also we have a network of other podcasts called the Star Wars Underworld. It's the SWU.net, and everything is right there, so you can give those guys a listen as well.
Awesome.
You can find me just everywhere at Producer Mike 975, and you can find Comiccast wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Comiccast, COMICAST, and then you'll find us. And if you could leave a rating, I would really appreciate it. I'd be your best friend.
And you can find the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast anywhere you listen. We're on YouTube. We're on social media. Look for us. You will find us whether you want to or not. So thanks again, everyone. Thank you guys for listening. Enjoy the last 2 hours of Comicpalooza. I hope you had a great weekend.